when I'm looking for a good horror movie to watch on Netflix, found footage movies are usually last on my list. And not because the genre is bad, but if they're not done well, they can feel kind of silly. If done properly, the style of found footage movies can make it feel real and make you feel more connected to the characters, which makes these types of movies actually pretty good. But eventually, I was able to come across a pretty good found footage movie called Creep that's also pretty unhinged. So without further ado, let's start yapping about the movie Creep. But before we do, this movie may have some triggering moments that may be disturbing or sensitive to some viewers. Please keep that in mind before you continue watching this video. The main character, Aaron, is a struggling videographer who's also kind of dumb as he's about to make some really poor decisions in the next few days of his life. Aaron saw an ad on Craigslist for a filming job that pays $1,000. The only problem is that the person who posted the ad lives in a cabin in the middle of the woods, which requires him to take a long drive. Now, any normal person would see some red flags in this situation, but apparently Aaron doesn't. And if you know anything about Craigslist, well, you can guess where this is going. So when Aaron arrives at the house, he knocks on the door but doesn't get any response. He decides to wait in his car and, unexpectedly, is greeted by the creep himself, Joseph. Right from the start, Joseph gives off a very strange vibe. In simple terms, he's just a weirdo. I mean, he starts asking Aaron for hugs and makes odd comments about how he likes Aaron's face, and so it seems like we're off to a very interesting start. As they both enter the cabin, Joseph explains that the cabin is his family's vacation home, and that he's dealing with a brain tumor that cannot be operated on. He has only 2 or 3 months to live, so he wants to make a video diary for his unborn child to have something to remember him by. Now, if it were me, I would wonder why he isn't filming with his pregnant wife. But hey, if someone is willing to pay $1,000, who cares, right? So Aaron agrees to Joseph's request and starts filming for him for the day, and this is where things start to get weird. Joseph leads Aaron to the bathroom and starts undressing in front of him. He assures Aaron that this is not anything inappropriate and asks him to keep filming. And because Aaron is dumb, he continues to film him. Joseph then has what he calls tubby time and pretends to bathe with his unborn child. After the bath, Aaron tries to find something in a closet but gets startled by a weird-looking wolf mask. Joseph explains that he calls the mask Peach Fuzz and proceeds to sing a song while wearing it. At this point, if I were Aaron, I would have already left. But he hasn't. Anyways, Joseph and Aaron go to the woods so that they can go for a hike. Joseph then starts to act weird again by playing tricks on Aaron, running off and leaving him behind. At some point, Joseph admits that he doesn't know how to get back to the car, but knows a great pancake place nearby. However, when they arrive at the restaurant, Joseph seems to forget what's on the menu, giving the impression that he's never been there before. This starts making us question Joseph's true intentions. Eventually, Joseph reveals that he took some pictures of Aaron when he arrived at the cabin, explaining that it's his strange way of getting to know someone before meeting them. Aaron realizes, after ignoring all the red flags, that he needs to leave. As they both return to the cabin, Aaron makes a poor attempt to leave, but Joseph convinces him to have some drinks. It's important to note that Aaron has already been paid by this time and doesn't need to continue entertaining Joseph. So, they both end up having some drinks together. However, when Aaron tries to leave again, Joseph tells him to turn the camera off so he can reveal something about Peach Fuzz, the strange wolf mask from earlier. He tells Aaron that a while back, he found animal corn is on his computer and knew that his wife was watching it. But when he asked her about it, she denied ever watching it. So, one day, he decided to take her to the vacation home where the movie takes place. He pretends to leave her for work, but instead, he goes and buys the wolf mask, breaks into the cabin wearing it, ties his wife up, and has what he describes as animalistic intercourse. He also claims that his wife enjoyed it and never told him about what had happened to her. Let's pause for a moment. Joseph just admitted to assaulting his wife and claims that she liked it because she is sexually attracted to animals, even if it happens to be a random guy wearing a strange wolf mask. As I mentioned before, this movie is pretty unhinged. So Aaron has had enough of Joseph and decides to leave again, but Aaron can't find his keys, implying that Joseph took them without him noticing. Joseph suggests that Aaron stayed a night because he's been drinking. Reluctantly, Aaron agrees to stay. Then, in an attempt to find his keys, Aaron prepares a drink for both of them, but secretly adds sleeping pills to Joseph's drink, which he had for whatever reason. As the medication takes effect, Joseph falls asleep, but begins to touch himself and moan the name Peach Fuzz. Even when Joseph is asleep, he's still a weirdo. Aaron tries to look for his keys in Joseph's pocket, but then Joseph's phone starts to go off. Instead of silencing the phone, he hides it in the bathroom and answers it. Aaron assumes that it's Joseph's wife, but she tells him that she's not his wife, but instead his sister. She proceeds to say that Joseph has mental problems and that he needs to leave immediately. So this whole time, Joseph has been lying about his wife, his unborn son, and probably lying about his brain tumor. Crazy, right? When Aaron comes out of the bathroom to leave, Joseph, who was sleeping before, is no longer in the same spot. So he starts to look for him. I should also mention that this scene was shot pretty well, creating a sense of uncertainty due to the first-person filming style, which makes it feel very unnerving before the actual jump scare. Anyways, Joseph suddenly appears out of nowhere and tells Aaron that he doesn't want to die. When Aaron confronts Joseph about lying to him about everything, Joseph gets angry and runs away. Aaron then follows Joseph downstairs and finds him wearing the peach fuzz mask, blocking the front door. But when Aaron asks to leave one more time, Joseph refuses and starts to make animal sounds and behaves inappropriately. Aaron charges towards Joseph and manages to escape from the cabin as the camera cuts out. In the next scene, Aaron watches a video that was sent to his house of Joseph taking trash bags into the woods and burying them. We can assume that the video is a threat to Aaron's life and that Joseph knows where he lives. However, Aaron stupidly chooses not to call the police and acts as if nothing has happened. After a short time, Joseph sends Aaron another package. This time, the package contained a kitchen knife, a wolf-stuffed animal, and a heart-shaped pendant with pictures containing both their faces. This finally encourages Aaron to contact the police. However, the police are unable to help as Aaron doesn't have Joseph's real name or address since the house he visited was a rental property, so the police are basically useless. Afterwards, Aaron wakes up from a noise inside his house and begins to investigate where it came from. Out of nowhere, we see Joseph standing outside the front door menacingly, but disappears before Aaron can see him. Aaron goes outside to continue searching and only discovers trash all over the ground, leading him to believe that raccoons are responsible. Later that same night, Joseph sneaks into Aaron's house and starts filming him while he's asleep. Additionally, Joseph decides to cut some of Aaron's hair before he leaves. In the morning, Aaron discovers another video from Joseph near his bed. Joseph apologizes for his strange behavior and suggests meeting at a public park to apologize in person. Aaron decides to go since he feels sorry for Joseph. The next day, Aaron goes to the park and starts filming the spot where Joseph told him to meet just in case anything happens. And because Aaron is dumb, he decides to sit on a bench facing away from any possible danger. While Aaron is staring into the distance, Joseph sneaks up behind him wearing a wolf mask and hits him on the hand with an axe. The next scene shows Joseph watching the footage from Aaron's camera and agrees that Aaron is pretty dumb for going. After that, he puts a DVD of Aaron's death in a closet with his other victims while talking to another dumb videographer who responded to his ads. So, as I said before, a majority of found footage movies can feel kind of silly if they're not done well. However, if done properly, found footage movies can create a deep sense of realism and connection to the characters since you're looking from their perspective. And Creep does a great job at capturing that. The filming style allows us to see through Aaron's perspective as he deals with an unusual relationship with a character like Joseph, which you can feel becomes more uneasy as the movie progresses. Also, the performance from the actor who played Joseph not only felt convincing that he was a creepy weirdo, but also added another level of suspense to the film since you didn't know what new weird thing he was going to say or do next. But if you're also on Netflix looking to find a good found footage horror movie to watch, be sure to add Creep to your list. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please comment below on which horror movies I should yap about next, and I will see you guys in the next one.